Nehru had a strategic vision. If you look at the material I have in the book, as early as 1 year before the establishment of the communist government, he was telling his own officials not to waste time with the expiring government of President Chiang Kai-shek and to start working on how to deal with a new potentially communist regime. So there was a strategic vision. He also on more than one occasion said, if we have to build an Asian order for Asians, we need Asian partners, and China was one of the obvious partners. So there was a strategic vision. But it was not accompanied by sound strategy and tactics. And that was perhaps because we were not clear on what objectives our policy was serving. So in the end, it became more an exercise of optics and an exercise of procedure rather than an achievement of objectives. And as a result, we had no asks from the Chinese side. It was a question of merely serving the interest of recognizing them on the hope that once the new government was established, they would partner with us on the new Asian order. But we never actually asked them whether they would do so. I do mention in the book that for the first 5 years after we recognized the People's Republic of China, there was not even direct contact between any senior Indian political figure and Chinese political figure. That shows that a lot of presumptions were not tested.
Right.
And that was the start of perhaps a foreign policy towards China which may not have been based on sound understanding of the new leadership and the new government.
Or even the realities.
Or even the realities, yes.
And like you said that we didn't ask anything from China in return. One of them that you mentioned was the overflight rights that the Americans wanted. And we denied them because we thought, or the Nehru government thought, that the Chinese will get upset.
Yes, in fact, the one other element in this book is it is as much a reflection of how we made policy with the United States. Logically, they should have been our partner. They were a democracy that supported us in the independence struggle. They were giving us economic assistance. And yet we saw them simply through the prism of the Cold War. We therefore dismissed even sound American advice. And where the Americans wanted even marginal assistance, such as overflight of their military aircraft, which was transporting French troops from Africa to Indochina, we refused them almost as a means of self-sanctioning, because the Chinese government did not ask us to do so. We did so because we felt we should be sensitive to their concerns. I think in a sense, the current approach that our government has, which is we need to be mutually sensitive to each other's concerns, ought to have been the mantra at that time, but it was a very unilateral sensitivity to China's concerns. China showed no sensitivity on the Kashmir issue, no sensitivity on any other concern of ours, so it was simply unidirectional.